Hello everyone, welcome to Melissa's Musings. As you know, I've got like a flyaway here and a little alfalfa situation happening. As you guys know, I am Melissa Steele, host of Melissa's Musings and real estate agent extraordinaire, and I am really excited to be talking to you guys today about time. So, as you guys know, thanks for the love, the explosion of hearts. I see some of you guys coming in here. Anna, Noon, thanks for joining in. So we're talking about time, and time is something that's been on my mind as I was talking to you guys about last week in my video, the importance of saying no and being super intentional with my time. Hey, Noon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Anna, live. I love that you guys are here. Groovin'. So we're talking about time, and the reason that this has been coming up for me a lot is because it's been something I've been really conscious about, right? So I've been being very mindful of how I've been spending my time. I've been a little bit more conscientious of the things that I'm saying yes and no to. And I read something recently that really, it caught my attention. And it was around money and time, money in relation to time. And the perspective shift for me was so huge and so eye-opening that I really want to talk to you guys about it because it stuck with me all week. Like, very much so. And so I wrote some notes, actually, because I wanted to remember the exact numbers. So imagine this, you guys. You, as an individual, have $86,400 in your bank account, right? That's a nice chunk of change. I would be pretty stoked to have $86K in my bank account right now. Give me some love and some likes if you wish you had $86,400 sitting in the bank right now. But imagine it, right? You've got $86,600 in the bank right now, and someone steals $10 from you. Damn it. Somebody stole $10? If you can feel, upset about that, but can let it go in your life, right? You've got $86,000 over that, $86,400 in the bank, and you see some stinker come up to your purse from afar, steal $10, and you see them run away, right? Put a 1 in the box. If you are going to spend the next $86,000 looking for that person, or put a 2 in the box if you are likely going to go about your day and be like, well, shit, that sucks, but there goes $10. So put a 2 in the box if that would be your reaction, which I feel like would probably be the normal reaction, but put a 1 in the box if you would quite literally give the rest of your money, the $86,300 that you've got left, or no, $390 that you've got left. Would you, do that? 2. Yeah, I'm getting some responses too. I most likely would be like, well, that sucks, but I'm not going to spend the next $86,390 searching for the dude who just stole my 10, right? But when we think about the fact that we have 86,400 seconds in our day, do we take into account how many are going to... My aunt says I'm going to hunt them down and kill them. Sorry, got distracted, you guys. Would you be so upset... and hunt them down, spend your $86,000 in hope of getting that $10 back, because we have 86,400 seconds in every day. And the amount of times where I have a 10-second speed bump and then let it affect like an hour of my time happens more than I would like to admit. For those of you watching, how often does that happen to you? Let me know if this happens to you. Put a little emoji with the hand raising if this also happens to you. Because I run into 10-second problems all the time, and I allow them to turn into 1-minute problems, or 5-minute problems, or 10-minute problems. And I end up investing so much of my time into what could have just been a little blip. So when it was put into that perspective for me, that shift, I was like, holy moly. If I had $86,400 in my bank account right now, there's no way in hell that I would spend $10. Or if somebody stole $10, there's no way in hell that I would spend my day chasing after them and the rest of my money funneled into trying to get that $10. However, how many times have I been faced with a frustration, for example? There is a frustrating situation that John and I are dealing with right now with one of our business partners, and the amount of energy that I could potentially put into something that is really just a 10-second issue can become an obsession. It can become something that we spend and invest thousands of seconds in. And when we think about that in relation to the fact that time is our most valuable resource, quite literally the only thing that we cannot replace in life, it's really eye-opening to think about how much time we're spending on things that may not be important and that likely aren't important. When I was able to really get that perspective shift and think about the fact that I would absolutely not spend probably a penny of my remaining $86,390 searching for the person who took my 10, why do I constantly spend so much of my time invested in either frustrations or anger or basically energy that doesn't serve me, right? And right after I read that perspective shift where it put it into money for me, right after that, I read something else very interesting around the fact that time, is not only like our most invaluable resource and the fact that it disappears and like is gone forever, it's something that we truly get to, be super, intentional about. Like time is absolutely something that we get to be super intentional about. Like the amount of times where I will run into something, for example, my health is the perfect example. I'll wake up with a stomach ache, right? And instead of having the 10-second lapse of, okay, I'm experiencing feelings of discomfort today, and therefore I get to shift into ways of self-care, sometimes I'll get myself into an obsessive cycle of, okay, why is this happening? Did I eat something yesterday? Oh, what should I be eating today? Oh, I hope I don't have a stomach ache after I eat my breakfast. Should I start with tea? Blah, blah, blah. And that 10-second observation that I had upon waking up of, okay, I'm experiencing feelings of discomfort, automatically turns into several thousand seconds of invested time, energy, anxiety, all of the things, right? Where if I had woken up, spent 10 seconds recognizing that I had feelings of discomfort, and then did not spend any future time invested in that, simply in maybe the shift or in the progress or maybe in the delightful foods that I get to eat, or maybe it's not even thinking about food altogether. Maybe I get to really focus on just having fun throughout my day. It was such a valuable shift for me because I have a bunch of you guys asking, why do we do that? Anna, why do we do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because when I think about the fact that time is my most valuable resource, right? And that's why it's really important to be cognizant and very intentional about the time that we use, whether it's relaxing time or working time or relationship time or friend time or whatever that time is that we are being intentional about. May it be intentional. Because when it's not, I feel like it's so easy to let the story run away with us, to let that 10-second blip in the system truly affect our entire day. And I will be the first to admit and the first to acknowledge that I have absolutely spent 10 seconds on something and then allowed it to literally permeate every aspect of my day, where I've become obsessed. There was a day recently where we had a really difficult transaction, and the seller on the transaction, we were representing the buyers. Thanks for the explosion of love. I love you guys. Thanks for joining in, Rebecca, April. I see you guys out here. Alex, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. So as, where was I going with that? Focus box. What was I saying? Basically, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. But ultimately, we get to be super intentional. Oh, yes, absolutely. So we have a seller and a buyer, and we were representing the buyer, and the seller was being extremely difficult. So difficult. And John and I were coming up with solution after solution after solution for our buyers, and the seller was just, nope, sorry, not gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. And I was allowing it to affect so much of my day. Until John finally gave me feedback. And he was like, babe, you really gotta let it go. And our lender, who's also a really great friend, Chad, gave me a great perspective shift too. He was like, did you do everything that you possibly could? And I said, yes. And he was like, have you done everything in integrity? And I said, absolutely, no questions. And he was like, then why are you still obsessed? And why are you upset? And we get to absolutely take that perspective shift. We get to ask for support when we are floundering in that state of disarray where you've now invested not only your 10 seconds and your 10 minutes, but you're going on 10 hours of investment in this thing. It's really important to have people around you that are going to hold you high and be like, hold up, my friend. I don't know why you're letting the story run away with you, but it was really supportive for me to have John give me the feedback late in the day, being like, babe, you've literally been obsessing about this all day long. And it was valuable feedback. I was like, oh shit, I really have. Sorry. It's probably been really annoying to be with me all day, right? And so I encourage you guys, if there are things that are coming up for you that feel really big, that feel really annoying and frustrating and stressful, believe me, I get tested on a daily basis in the job that I do. It's very interesting being in a role. A lot of you in the service industry also get to do this, but being in a role where you get to deal with different people and personalities and parties and ultimately get to create a win-win in every single aspect, but helping to coordinate that between like a dozen different people. And sometimes while it's challenging, what I get to do on a daily basis is like help to make that amazing. And so I encourage you guys, if there's stuff that's coming up for you around whatever it is that's happening in your day-to-day, whether it be life or play, or maybe you are spending 2 to 3 hours a night watching TV and you don't like the way that you're intentionally spending that time, we should connect. Because time has been something that I've been learning so much about, and this shift for me was so powerful. Because I can pretty much guarantee you guys that if I had $86,400 sitting in the bank, and I saw somebody steal $10 from me, I would probably have the thought process of, because this has literally happened when people have stolen from me, I get to shift, and I have the thought process of, that person probably needed it a lot more than I did. And that's usually the 10 seconds that I would allot to losing $10. Like realistically speaking, you guys, that's what happens to me when I lose $10 or when $10 gets stolen from me. For me, $10, the mindset around that is they must have needed it a lot more than I did. So why don't I have that same respect for myself and my time? It's really something interesting. I've been thinking so much about it. I really have. Because I often don't. Like I will have my 10 seconds, realize the frustration, then I will obsess. And I will allow that 10-second blip in my road to quite literally affect hours, thousands of seconds. And so it's been so empowering for me this whole past week because literally every time, like, I'm in the moment. Like literally it happened to me this morning. I was on the toilet. Sorry if it's TMI, but I was on the toilet and I had actually just woken up. I went to bed at 9 o'clock yesterday. I was in bed prior to 9 o'clock. I was sleeping by 9. I woke up at 6 a.m. like epically rejuvenated after, is that 9 hours of sleep? It was beautiful. Like I can't even tell you guys how lovely it was. I was so powerfully intentional about that amount of sleep, woke up, I felt feelings of discomfort, and my first inkling was, well, that's frustrating. I just spent 9 hours sleeping, you know what I mean, to prevent feeling sick. That was my first thought. And because I've been really focused on this and intentional about this, I was able to shift from it like that, and I was like, oh, rewind. You're experiencing feelings of discomfort. You're going to have a freaking amazing day. You got 9 hours of intentional sleep. Let's celebrate that. And so I immediately started celebrating the fact that I got 9 hours of sleep, and I immediately started giving myself positive affirmations about how I was going to feel throughout the day. And I'm happy to report that contrary to waking up with feelings of discomfort, I'm feeling really good right now. And I would like to attribute, I don't know if it's for certain a fact, but I would like to attribute that fact to the fact that I did not obsess about my stomach. And, you know, maybe had I obsessed, maybe I would have gone in a downward spiral towards pain and anxiety because I would have not been able to shift from it. So it was a powerful shift for me this morning. It's been a powerful shift. I've been doing it nonstop since I had that, really the notes. Since I wrote down 86,400, like the number 86,400 is sitting on my desk. The number 86,400 is a constant reminder of me now that that's how many designated and committed seconds I get to have in my day. So really, how do I get to intentionally spend those moments? I love you guys. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I almost said Friday, but it's definitely Tuesday. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Reach out. I would love to talk.